Hello and welcome to another tech video brought to you by the Orange Beach Public Library. My name is Jason and I'm the reference librarian here at this great institution. Today we will be talking about basic operations of your iPhone and iPad. This video will be part 1 in a short series on this topic. So get your devices out and follow along as we start with the basics and work our way forward to more complex topics. Now let's get started. First thing we're going to start off with is how to turn off your phone and your iPad off and on. The reason you want to do this is it kind of refreshes the system, and so I encourage you to turn it off as much as you would like, and reboot it as much as you'd like, but at least once a week, that sort of thing. Sometimes it allows updates to go through in the background that are sometimes pending and stuff. So both are pretty simple to turn off and turn on. It's a little more, it's an extra button on the iPhone. But it's pretty easy all around. So let's go ahead and let's see what we got here. So we're going to wake this phone up. We're going to go ahead and have it sitting there on our desktop. And on these newer iPhones, the top volume button and the sleep button on the top right hand side, hold those down until you get the slide to power off button. And from there you just slide that and power the device off. And from here on your iPad, once you get it woken up and stuff, you're going to go ahead and hit the button that's up here in the top corner over here. It's right over here. Show that to you there. It's right over there. And so what I'm going to do here is just hold that down as well. And once it goes to a little faded out screen, and you can it blurs everything out, and you get the slide to power off. You can power it off that way. Also from here, you can go ahead and just turn everything back on by repeating the steps, but on your iPhone, you don't have to hold down the volume button up top. You just hold down that sleep button there on the right-hand side. And once you get the Apple logo, then you are back in business. So that's going ahead and booting it there. While that's doing that there, we would hold down the same button right over here. Right there. And hold that down. Now we're doing that, you get the Apple logo, and now it's starting to boot back up. So that's how you turn your devices on and off, and again, I encourage you to do that as often as you can. That way it'll allow things to install in the background, and plus it'll refresh the system. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the home button. The home button is a little button here on the bottom of the iPad and stuff. It's right there. The older iPhones used to have the home button down here, but in order to free up some real estate and to make the screen a little bit larger, they got rid of the home button. So basically, because this is both devices are touchscreen, they integrated the home button into the touchscreen as well onto this device. So let's first go over the iPad real quick, since that was just a little bit easier to discuss. Whenever you're in an application, say you open up the Silhouette application, and instead of going to the sleep function, the sleep button over here, right on this side, you're actually going to hit this home button over here, so you can go ahead and take you back to the home screen. This is the desktop, just like a computer and stuff. This is where you kind of can navigate around, that sort of thing. So that's the home button takes you out of the application and puts you back into the home screen where you can go to other apps. So let's just say you've done all you wanted to do on here, you've worked with everything you wanted to work with. If you wanted to see what's open in the background, double tap the home button. So you hit it twice, and now you get to see everything that's open in the background back here. And from here, you can jump back and forth to do certain pieces, certain applications. Again, hit the home button twice, and it brings it back up here. And from here, you can go ahead and again then bounce over to something else, say the settings, that sort of thing. So again, you want to hit the home button to bring you back to the home screen or the desktop there, or double tap to see what applications you have running in the background. So from here, once you double tapped on the home screen, you're going to get this screen here, and then from here you just start swiping up and getting rid of these whole other applications. And you're not deleting them, you're just actually closing them out so they're not actually on at the same time. Okay, now for the iPhone, you wake it up from the side button here. You swipe up to get to the home screen, the old desktop here. So swiping up with this device, that's going to be the equivalent of hitting the home button on the iPad. So now, say you want to see what was open in the background, you'd hold up and you drag up and then hold right here on the screen and then let go. Once you let go, it brings up all the applications that you have running in the background, and you can scroll through them and quickly navigate to them if you're using them a lot. But again, if they're on, you're using battery, you're using data, it's good to swipe up and get rid of these that way, so that way it's not chewing up your battery or going through your data. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to quickly connect to the Wi-Fi. A lot of things that you're going to do with your phone and with your iPad is the settings, and in your settings you're going to make changes, that sort of thing. Currently right now I know that I'm on the Wi-Fi because I can see the little Wi-Fi icon up here at the very top, and so that tells me that I'm on the Wi-Fi. Same thing if I open up the iPad, click on it, I've got the Wi-Fi symbol up there at the very top, so I know that it's actually on the Wi-Fi. But in order to get to that, what you need to do is go to Settings, little gear, little cogwheel right there, you click on that, and then right down through here you see Wi-Fi. So now it already is on Orange Beach Public Library because I've been on here before, and so it's set to remember the Wi-Fi. Just like if you were to set it up and get on your Wi-Fi at your house or condo, once you leave and come back, it'll pick back up on here because it's set to auto-detect. So say you wanted to turn off your Wi-Fi, you basically just hit that little button right there at the very top, and basically turn off your Wi-Fi that way. Same thing on your iPad. Go to your settings, your little gear icon, click on that, go over to Wi-Fi, and you go up to the top here, and again it auto-detects because I've been in here before, but I want to turn it off. And some would say, well, why would you want to turn it off? Well, I would want to turn it off because sometimes if you're on public Wi-Fi, that's not a very secure connection, and going through your own data plan might be a little bit more secure than public Wi-Fi. Also, if you ever get to a point where you're trying to send or receive emails or texts that aren't really going through, and somebody says, hey, why aren't you getting these? The information going back and forth from devices goes the path of least resistance. And if you have your Wi-Fi turned on, as well as your data plan turned on, sometimes it doesn't know whether to send or receive the information through Wi-Fi or through data, and it keeps bouncing back and forth. So if you ever get to a point where things are not sending or you're not getting messages from somebody, go in and turn your Wi-Fi off and see if you get the messages that way. If that doesn't come through, then you might want to try rebooting your phone like we talked about previously. But for now, let's go ahead and turn our Wi-Fi back on by tapping the Wi-Fi. It automatically connects to Orange Beach Public Wi-Fi. Same thing as here. Turn that back on. It automatically goes back to Orange Beach Public Wi-Fi, and that's how you turn on your Wi-Fi for each device.